Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of 3 Pints and a Clean Sheet. A bit of a more cheerier introduction this week. I got told I sounded a bit depressed last week, so.
Hi!
Start us off, Kyle. That's not the bedroom.
Oh, no.
He's been bandaged.
I'm in the doghouse.
Banished, even.
I'm in the doghouse.
A few nice tops up on your wall there, pal.
Yeah, we've got some Rangers numbers, a nice 11-12 number, the 10s. Then Barcelona, 13-14, I believe, or 12-13. And then far side, 13. It's 12-13 Queen's number.
You froze there for me. I don't know about you, Greg.
Yeah.
You froze, but yeah, we got the gist of it. Queen of the South. We got to Queens.
And a wee Rangers number up there as well.
Yeah, I think you need to stop moving your camera because it hasn't been lagging till now.
Yeah. Right, that's no more camera.
That Rangers top there reminds me of a certain Carlos Bocanegra.
Greg, who does it remind you of?
I actually have no clue.
Okay,
I think it was Kenny Miller.
I'm not aware of the existence of that football club.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry, made me laugh. Right, that top in the middle section.
Barcelona.
That's before the top. Their stock started going downhill.
That was about
Quite a nice number, actually.
Or not peak Barcelona, but getting like prime Barcelona years.
It was Neymar's first season, so reminds me of Neymar a lot.
I'd say so too. You've seen Messi in it, or that's maybe even a PK.
Maybe Messi because he's on the FIFA cover in that top actually.
Busquets.
And I'm not moving the camera, but the Queen's one is a Derek Lyle number.
100% Derek Lyle number.
I'm saying Paul Burns. That reminds me of, or Gav Riley.
And the stripy number above me. That's a Vladimir Weiss.
Vladimir Weiss, or Kurt Broadfoot, I'd say. Poached egg era.
Is it a scrambled egg? I can't remember.
It was an egg of some sort.
In the microwave.
That was the top they wore when played Manchester United in the Champions League, I believe.
What, that one?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I think the red ones. Why would they be red against Man U?
No, that one. I'm sure. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was the one with the collar, like the pure sticky collar.
I've got the wrong year.
Because that was another year at Broadfoot snapped Valencia in it.
Aye. Wait like this.
Sent it back to Ecuador.
And I remember justifying it as he didn't mean it.
Big bully bastard.
For observant viewers, for those who aren't just listening, there's a certain theme going on.
Yes.
I wonder what it is.
These sexy young boys.
That. Got Colombo here.
Are we going to tell them or are we going to leave it to the comment section below?
Yes, we've got the Queen of the South gear on today. I think Kyle spans back the furthest 2 seasons away kit. Very nice number. I do have that. However, I thought we were going to have a nip slip there.
Naughty.
That'll have to go on the Patreon. We know we don't have one of them.
Not yet.
Yet. For just £3 a month, Kyle can afford to buy more Budweiser.
2 in the fridge and 2 here.
Right, so before we move on to the bureau, your 2 seasons ago, Greg, I think yours was last season?
It was the relegation season.
I have... Is that the one with Palmerston on the back? Or is that this one?
I'm sure it's that one. I'm sure it's Greg's one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say...
I can't be bothered turning around that far.
Because this is the one it's got the players in the back.
Have you still got Arlo on the back of that, Greg?
No.
I've got a bit of MKM. And my top. No, you're Glenn, so I can't remember what it was.
Glenn Holmes.
Mine's just from this season. Nice number. I like it. I thought it was a bit plain when they first brought it out, but actually, it's effective.
Yes. If you'd like to donate the 3 Pints and a Clean Sheet Fund, the Queen's sponsorship draw is now open. So if we reach our fundraising goal of 400 quid, we will enter. If you give us that money, we're not putting anything towards it.
We will.
I
Well, we're
fucking won't.
we're gonna have to make up the 50 quid that you just dropped off the price. It was 450.
Oh, 450, sorry.
I think you can see
Yes.
Macaron, Queens, then 3 pints.
And a clean sheet.
Oh,
You won't see any of them at Palmerston.
No.
Or pints for that matter. Can't drink in Scotland.
I see they were trying to change that, but that's a whole different topic. We'll
That's
go on at that another week.
Well,
Unfortunately, I am in early at work tomorrow, so I will not be partaking in the beverage consumption.
Shite
But
bag.
this week, I was trying to encourage responsibility and responsible drinking. I don't have to feel peer pressured.
Shite bag.
So we'll go Kel first because he's trying to investigate the ingredients.
no, I was looking at this. They had a wee battery signature before. I've got a Budweiser canister, not a bottle, a can.
Canister.
Never tried a can before, so I think.
You've never had a can in your life. You're too scared.
Scared of aluminum.
Can I open it? Right, Greg. Didn't look like you enjoyed that one there after that sip.
No, I didn't enjoy Kyle saying aluminum. That was my problem.
Aluminum.
I'm on a lovely Welsh beer this week. We have a Gower Brewery Lighthouse Lager, which apparently is a refreshing continental lager packed with flavour from traditionally lower malted barley and classic hop varieties from the Czech Republic. Best enjoyed with a good view.
Oh, you're looking at me.
In front of you. Oh, I went for us, but no, it's fine. I was thinking about yourself.
Very much.
Thanks for that, Greg. You got that spot on this week. That first time you stumbled a bit. I can't remember what the word was. You said it twice. My lighting's a bit off. Sorry. There we go. That's a bit better.
Maybe just a bit shite, but
I mean, to be honest, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I'm blind. I just looked right into it. It's not an LED bulb. It's a pure like halogen differ. It's fucking blinding.
I like Greg's pillows.
Very jazzy.
Right, let's get a
Not very staunch. That's why Robert likes them.
I've been
Talking
putting
of
it off.
staunchness.
Yeah, I've been putting it off. Very, very disappointing performance from Rangers in the Scottish League Cup final. If you've never seen it, it finished them 2, us 1. Celtic 2, Rangers 1. Where do I start?
At the start.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start.
Just get on it.
Team selection was all off from Beale. I don't know why. 2 players who haven't been training regularly snuck into that midfield when you had Raskin and Cantwell on the bench. I think that at least if he'd started Raskin and Cantwell, there was an air of uncertainty in the Celtic squad because they've not seen them play. They've had the experience of Lundstrom and Tillman, but I thought Raskin made the difference in the Rangers team when he came on. Obviously not a big enough difference, but he was definitely a spark.
A better player. Someone say. He impressed me anyway.
He did, he was good. 2 sloppy goals defensively, I think. Me and Kel watched the game in my living room. I made a point at the time, and I stick by it. Celtic are very good positionally. If watch them defending, they're always behind the ball, whereas Rangers are just kind of static. All the defenders are always caught at the back, whereas they've got everyone behind the ball. And it just seems to be they outnumber the midfield. Aaron Moy, or whatever his name is, was running riot in the midfield because there was just that much space. Apart from Sakawa, I don't think I need to say any more about him. I was absolutely livid. Mr. Sitter just wasn't in the game. I don't know why Scott Wright didn't come on earlier. Sorry, Kel.
That's the first time you've ever said something positive about Scott Wright.
I know. And I don't.
He came on, you were like, this is why I don't like him. He's awful.
I didn't say that. I said he was better than Sakala.
Wasn't that what I heard? You were slagging him off to the dogs.
I think you're lying.
I think I'm not.
I seen a funny comment. Someone put, get him out of the squad just because he smiles doesn't make him a good player.
I was going to say, they've got box-to-box midfielders, whereas Rangers don't really. Yeah. Like Moyes box-to-box, McGregor's box-to-box, O'Reilly's box-to-box.
I think that kind of ties in with what I was saying, is they can get behind the ball and get back.
They're rigid and have ethic, I guess.
Yeah.
Work in progress. Can you see levels of improvement? Obviously, the last Old Firm was a draw.
Just step from
The
the
first
last
one
Old
we
Firm.
won't talk about.
I think that he's going to need a big summer. The league's gone. Let's be honest. That was just a kind of show. Postecoglou's done a great job. Can't deny it. But my question is, how long is he going to be here for? Hopefully not that much longer. But I think Beale needs a big summer. I don't know if you saw, but James Sands is away back to New York. He didn't get his. Well, there was the option of back to buy him, but that's been declined. Part of me hopes that they'll buy Tillman in the summer with his. He's got his clause in his loan that he can buy him, but I don't know how much it is.
Not just 5, or is that his value?
I don't know. But yeah,
even then, do Rangers have enough funds to spend 5 million on one player and not strengthen enough? Like, would that 5 million be better distributed across other areas? Because one thing Celtic have done really well is get really good players for not particularly much money.
Yeah. Just speaking of that, I see that I read an article earlier on that Rangers are being linked 3.5 million for Freddie Woodman of Preston.
He's a
good goalkeeper, formerly of Newcastle.
Yeah, formerly of Newcastle. That's why I was going to say.
And Kilmarnock from Greg. I'm sure he played at Killie.
Alone there, possibly.
I don't know, but he's second most clean sheets in the Championship this season so far. So I don't know, but 3.5 million is a big price tag. So, well, in terms of Scottish football, let's be honest.
So it's a very big price tag, but I think that's a key position for Rangers to fill for me, because if McGregor doesn't go this summer, doesn't retire, that'll be a huge turn up for the books. And McLaughlin isn't good enough.
Nice. To put it politely, he's pish.
The season's gone. You might as well play Robbie McCrory.
I would anyway. Well, my thing was, he brought Alan McGregor on the last minute of the Scottish Cup, and everyone thought it was a send off, and then he signed a contract extension. I'm assuming it was just to get the medal.
I think it was supposed to be second choice, but McLaughlin was shite, so he had to step in. From what I've seen things.
Well, it was Giovanni doing. So,
Giovanni.
Don't want to speak about him. So, what does it mean for Rangers for the rest of the season? Greg,
Scottish Cup.
What would you say as an outsider?
I mean, I've said it already. Season's gone. Scottish Cup, maybe. Probably gonna have to play Celtic again at some point.
It's always a semi-final in the Rangers Celtic in the Scottish Cup.
But again, you wouldn't fancy it, would you? And I don't think anyone else looks close to beating Celtic. Rangers don't look that close. The season's pretty much gone. Celtic pretty much have a treble. It's theirs to lose. I'm sorry, it
is. Yeah, I agree.
Something I saw on social. Sorry.
Crack on.
No, you go, sir.
No.
Let's go.
I was going to say, I saw people discussing whether any Rangers players would get into the Celtic team. Sorry. Do you think so, Kyle?
No.
I was thinking there's a work to do. A few might on a good day. I think Taverner might on a good day.
Yes.
My gripe is I think we've got to that stage where Tavernier just needs to get moved up the pitch and sign a right back. Let's be honest. He was brought in by Mark Warburton and played it right back because we were short, and he seemed to stay in that position. And his stats in the Europa League last year were mental. But imagine what he could do if he was actually further up the field.
He doesn't really defend either. He's a bit like Alexander Arnold for Scottish football.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's fairly obvious that none of the Rangers players would get into that Celtic team. I can't see any of them.
I think Scott Wright would get in.
Do you?
I think last season, 2 years ago, Kent would have got in, but that's 2 years ago.
Kent on his day could rip them apart, but he's just too inconsistent at the minute.
He's too consistent.
He's too predictable.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah.
There's the same trick every game.
I did read, though, imagine if Postecoglou had Kent, what Kent would be able to do.
Yeah.
Probably
like what Jota
does. Jota just terrorises people.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of me crying. Greg, it's your turn.
No.
Yeah, Billy Big Boss about 2 minutes ago. You go
Do
for
something
it.
else. I mean,
Oh.
we kind of seen it coming. I might have put Newcastle in predictions out of loyalty, but you know, I kind of said immediately after the semi-finals, you knew this was happening. Kind of figured it up to be Newcastle's kind of entry into the Big Six, and it just didn't happen. It didn't really look like happening. You know, even looking at their league form, you know, hoping the league form will recover after this, because before that it's been pish. I think it's 1 in the last 6 they've won, and that's not good enough. You know, if the cup final's been a distraction, then they didn't show up on the big day either, really. And yeah, I think it was entirely predictable what happened, to be honest.
The fans showed up. I know that doesn't count for anything, but
The fans did show up in massive numbers. Trafalgar Square looked like the only other team, if you can call it that, to do that level of thing in Trafalgar Square is Scotland.
did you see the video of the Sunderland fan who phoned the Newcastle pub?
I did not see this.
He asked them if he could have a pint of Geordie Tears down Wembley way, you black and white. He was it. I can't remember what it said. Black and white something. Maybe you shouldn't say the last word anyway.
Yeah.
Peter Reid, monkey seed.
Yes, that.
I mean, I was gonna do my Geordie accent, but I better not. So maybe next week.
A pint of black and white teas.
I should also
a black
say,
and white tears down Wembley way.
Man United were really good. And, you know, I love bashing Man United. I'll continue that for the next 30 seconds and say, congratulations, Man United, for the easiest run to a cup final in fucking history. They beat one Premier League team to get there, and it was fucking Forest, who aren't very good. And
Yeah, they didn't do the draw themselves, though.
It's rigged. It's a bloody travesty. It's a rig.
I mean, I know it was the FA Cup the other night, but I did hear David Moyes apparently had a go about that as well, and said that some balls must be warm and some must be cold because West Ham always get drawn away from home. So read into that what you will. But yeah, congrats, Man United. You won the League Cup with a fucking easy draw. But, you know, the final, you looked really good. Shows what Eric Ten Hag's team is capable of, which is quite scary.
They start calling him Lime because he's that bitter.
I mean, I've not even got on to the fact the first goal shouldn't have happened, but, you know, it wasn't a
Well,
foul.
go for it. I want to hear it.
Oops.
I did see the first goal.
It wasn't a foul.
Don't remember thinking that myself though, but I was a few Befraginos did at the time.
It's one of those where if it's your team that concedes that foul, you're absolutely furious because, you know, 15 of them happen during the game and the referee gives one and it's that one and it leads to a goal.
You know, luck of the draw.
Yeah, and just, you know, I can moan about that all I want. One, it made no difference, and two, Newcastle never looked like scoring. You know, you said before this, Robert, they had 61% possession.
Oh, I was going to get on to that.
Most of the
reminded
game,
me because I forgot about the stats because I started the first game as well.
Yeah, most of the game, the Man United, second half, or start of the second half, Newcastle pushed a bit. Man United very comfortable sitting behind the ball. You know, I've gave Martinez a lot of stick, but he's a shit house and great in that situation. He just riles people up.
I don't like him.
I mean, I wouldn't want him in my team, but
I would.
You know, he played well.
Man United had 39% possession compared to Newcastle's 61%. Manchester United had a total of 14 shots. 10 of those were on target. This is compared to Newcastle's 15 shots, which 2 were on target.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Foul-wise, Man United had 6 yellow cards as opposed to Newcastle's 3. I might as well go back to the Rangers Celtic game because I forgot to do it for this. Rangers had less possession. They did 44%. Again, 2 shots on target. One of them was the goal.
Newcastle never even managed that.
Celtic had 5 on target, scored from 2 of them. And you always get a lot of cards on an old firm. Rangers 6 yellow cards, Celtic 4. Sorry for that wee backtrack there.
No, it's
yeah.
fine.
I don't know what you thought. This Newcastle team's in a really weird place. Like, people have bigged them up.
They were
And
about
it
3 weeks
appears-
ago though,
What?
when they were the best thing ever.
I mean, they got there.
They're still doing
Well,
well.
for getting there.
Yeah.
They're doing well, but, you know, 1 win in the last 6 is a bit,
I think they've burnt
you
out.
know. Yeah. They've not looked the same since after the World Cup. After World Cup, they just haven't looked the same side.
Eddie, how has this happened?
I was just thinking, who's their goal scorer? Bar Wilson. Like, they signed Isaac for 40-odd million. He's no kicked the
He's
ball.
not really played. Almiron, I think, has scored a lot of the Premier League goals, but again, before the World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
St
Do you know what
Maximan played, didn't look that good. St Maximan, as someone said, is a Dama Traore, but without the hype.
Alan Sant minimum.
He's lost his Gucci headband.
He's rocking the Slazenger.
No, not now. Mike Ashley's gone. No one wears Slazenger anymore.
Oh, it's another.
I know a few, or one in particular.
I don't know any other off-brand or off-meta.
No fear.
Yeah, they're all owned by Mike Ashley. It's great.
Hot tuna. Yeah, nice pair of hot tuna swimming shoes.
Your slip-on numbers.
No. I slip them on and then you've got that wee,
Ah, the wee
you know,
toggle.
the wee beat motion. Like,
Ah,
it
you,
makes a sound effect as well.
that's the sort of thing that makes the.
Just
yeah.
for clarification here for the viewers, me and Kyle went to Magaluf in 2018.
18. What was
Yeah,
it?
we watched the World Cup there. Some of it. We watched England get put out by Croatia in the
Yeah.
and from our balcony. I ran out and celebrated, and there was these French boys doing laps on our balcony, about 3 of them. Anyway,
That's when I wore a Scotland top, the same night I wore a Scotland top to dinner, and they got fucking 10,000 death stares.
we were in a bar. I think, to be fair, it was an English bar. There was a gentleman there who kept talking to us. He was repping those previously stated hot tuna swimming shoes numbers, and what was it, a Smirnoff Ice in his hand?
There's always a Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, we've seen him about 4 times because we like to go to that pub, and he told Kyle that he was there for a month by himself. And it was the same move every time. I don't know. He had the bottle of this, and he was like,
I had another move. I'm not gonna do it. They had like his arm like that. He was like his ball like that, and his knee was up like that, and he was like hopping along. It was just his arm and his leg, and he was hopping along. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
This is just for more context. This is in the same pub where the DJ shouted, "If you get your clothes off and put these," it was like a pair of briefs with the name of the bar on it. Get your free drink, and this guy, everything off, and in 2 seconds he's standing in the scud in the middle of the pub. It was only like 10 o'clock.
This big fucking meat-eating, wall-punching looking fucker. Similar to Greg, but
fuck you.
that's a nice compliment saying you're a big lad. A big burly fucker.
Meat eating or wall punching aren't characteristics I want. You're basically calling me fucking gammon.
That makes that so Scottish.
Gammon.
You'd love that. You love your slow cooker.
Oh, that is true. George Notman makes a cracking gammon and ginger beer.
So we can call him Lime, Gavin, or Slow Cooker. I haven't decided Slow Cooker at the end.
Anyway, so back on topic, I was going to ask, how well do you think Man United can do this year? Talk of the title, is that feasible?
No.
Cool.
They're
still in the FA Cup.
CL qualification and a possible FA Cup final, I reckon.
Where are they in the league?
Third.
I think they'll maybe maintain third.
How far off Arsenal are they?
Pretty far, I think. They've got.
I think they'll finish in third. Let's be honest, they're getting better. Ten Hag's definitely done a good job.
What about the Europa League? They put Barcelona out. You know,
True.
I think that's theirs to win. You know, I don't see why they can't win it.
I reckon they'll get to the final and lose it.
They're a cup final.
Rangers got there. Come on.
Easy draw.
Aye, and I will not have that chat. There was not easy draws. We put out Borussia Dortmund, Red Star Belgrade, RB Leipzig.
Just see with that in the division.
RB Leipzig, who finished in the bottom half of the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but it's still a good team though.
In the Champions League this year. Draw against Man City.
Excuse me.
Yeah, okay, they didn't.
Yeah,
finish in the bottom half of the
yeah.
Bundesliga. I got my
They're-
facts wrong.
They are 49
It was
points.
Frankfurt, the team who beat you.
Yes. I knew that part.
6 points off Man City. Man U. With a game in hand.
Never know.
So, in theory, 5 if they get the result with the form they're in.
3.
Which Newcastle players would get into the Man United squad, going back to that kind of chat we had in the old firm?
Hope.
That's a shout. Better than De Gea. De Gea passed.
Actually, from what I saw, Loris Karius didn't have a bad game. Bar the second goal, but at the same time, it was one of those.
That was a vile deflection.
At the same
Yeah.
time, it was also like it was given as an own goal at the time. It's now been given to Rashford. But
Alexis
you know,
Rashford.
That was a wicked deflection. That's not his fault.
I don't think you can blame Karius for that. I think the
No.
defenders
I'm
fucking
just
worse
saying,
than
like,
Karius.
it looks worse than it was, but I thought he played a good game.
An easy
Full of
scapegoat.
abuses. Has he even? I saw something about he hasn't played much in the last 2 years, so
It's his first start since 2021 or something. For Union Berlin.
I didn't realise actually he was that.
He's actually doing. He was the reason they're doing so well now. He kickstarted it.
It's not like Union, is that how you pronounce it?
Union.
That's how the French say onion.
But yeah, the other player I would like to nominate to go in the Man United team is Guimaraes. He's class.
I can't pronounce his name.
Or Guimaraes, whatever you want to say. He's class.
Guimaraes.
There's a shout maybe for Trippier as well.
A shout for Trippier. Well, actually, to be fair, that right back position is probably again one of Man United's weaker options.
But I see Wan-Bissaka's kind of coming on leaps and bounds slowly. He had a good game in the final, didn't he? 7 tackles or something.
Yeah.
Like the most in a cup final or something.
Yeah, all to be fair, all on St. Maximan, so you know
Oh,
it's
It depends on the centre, because you'd probably replace Botman for Maguire as well. But
I
Maguire
bet it
doesn't play.
depends. If you're starting Martinez and Varane,
Then no, but
Botman in a couple of years, yes, but Botman now, maybe not.
he's better
Just
than
Botman.
23, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty young. The Guimaraes, I think, would go in because again, Man United, you've got that Casemiro and then Fred, who again, Fred's got a lot better this year. He's no longer the laughing stock he once was.
He's
But
getting a
I'd
lot
still
better
put Guimaraes
since.
and then Fred.
Him and Casemiro would be fucking disgusting together.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Eriksen. Eriksen's doing quite well as well, isn't he?
Yes.
So right now he's not playing because he's injured, but so temporary is cool. But
Just makes me think of that song. Right side Fred, both of us together. Right.
But I was going to say, I think that's the point with Newcastle, that you know people can't expect too much quickly. You know, they're trying to build this kind of slowly.
Wait till they whack the oil prices up again, and then we'll be getting some real transfers.
But I mean,
Kylian Mbappe on inbound. Was that not the rumour?
I've seen Neymar's popping up again as a transfer.
come on.
You know what? On TikTok
I'd like to
recently.
think. Try 'em.
No, you go. I'm not having this time. You're going this time.
I'd like to think they're more sensible than doing that kind of thing and bringing in, you know, 3 or 4 decent players in the summer. So I think that kind of striker position is one that needs answered. Dan Burn started the season well, but dropped off. So it depends how he finishes the season. There are positions in that team that could definitely be made better. And the bench,
I'm jumping in here. Back to Rangers. What would you replace? Who would you bring in to replace positions? Like what positions need improving?
keeper.
I don't know over this, but I'm bringing it in anyway.
You had to go me for going back.
No, just give me there when Greg went about Newcastle players needing replaced.
I'd moved Tavernier up and sent it right back. But yeah, I think Greg's right in a
Keeper,
goalkeeper.
right back,
Striker.
left back.
Yeah, I think we need another striker. I didn't need a prolific goal scorer.
Morelos was, but he's kind of fell off.
A right mid. But then again, I want.
Look, Cartwell, he's a right mid. He can play
Yeah.
right mid.
That's what I'm saying. Play him instead of Fashion Ginger.
Other mob.
I was going to say that this applies to Rangers as well. as Newcastle, but I think for both of those, the difference is also partly in the bench. So thinking about Newcastle first, like compared to the bigger teams, you look at who Newcastle can bring off the bench, and it's Joe Willock, Jacob Murphy, Shelby's gone, but Willock, Murphy, the quality's not great off the bench at all.
I like Adam Devine.
Rangers the same though, nah? Like Celtic can bring some genuine quality off the bench.
They brought in that Hasbanovic?
Hasbanovic, yeah.
Yeah, he should have scored as well.
He should have.
But he didn't. I think the key was in the 55 season, they had players like that. Like you were bringing up, maybe if you're playing a Rebo and Jack in the middle, you were bringing on Kamara, who was in top form, and
Arfield, and
you had Hollander that was injured, but you had Hollander and Goldson, but then you also had Bassey, who was kind of left back, then forming into a centre back.
Balogun.
Balogun as well.
He should never have left.
I know, that was a joke letting him go.
He was far too good to be let go on a free.
Well, Beale signed him at QPR.
He was 32, but that's not an excuse.
I think there's something else in it, but I don't know.
But
I think Greg's right in saying the benches are important. So
and it's people don't give that enough credit, especially Rangers. If they're going to be in Europe again, you need a strong squad to compete on all fronts. Because
we did last season.
Well,
so,
yeah,
I don't know.
you did.
Just doing that spanner in there.
But with Rangers, like, no matter how well you do, you need to put your best team out in the Europa League or whatever European competition you're in, because the gulf in quality.
I think the issue is, you look at the Celtic team that Ange Postecoglou inherited, and you look at the team he's got now, bar maybe Cal Mack, how many players has he actually brought in and changed up? And then you look at the team that Beale's got, which looks pretty much nearly, maybe bar, like Cholak and Sakala. That was pretty much the identical team, and Davies as well, a pretty much identical team that he was assistant for with 55.
Yeah.
So I think
they're 2 years older though, so they're not as slower and such.
A successful team always needs players replaced. They're never gonna last.
Alex Ferguson was by far the best at that. Bringing in a couple of players each summer to not upset the apple cart, but to add quality.
Well, it kind of fades in, like the youngins, Olgins come out.
One in, one out.
Exactly.
Keep the winning core, but add some more quality. That's kind of, that's the secret to success, isn't it?
Keep the Olgins for the winning heat, youngins for the running.
That's the issue of the Queen's squad, just to make it about Queen's. They're all too young.
Yeah, well, not only are they all too young, they're all too new.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, for once, that's a core from last season. Pity it's the relegation team, but there's a lot of them for last season still there, compared to usual.
That is true. It's not like one or two. It was, 4 or 5 this year, which still isn't a lot.
I think off the top of me, but there's a good few. And the returning faces like your Rayleys and your Murrays and such.
Right, so
both been pish.
Yeah.
Going back to the League Cup chat, do we think the League Cup should be scrapped? Let's go for both countries. We'll go for whatever your view on it either. What's your reasoning?
Too many fixtures. Like, it's the fact the semi-finals are still 2 legs is a joke, because they're played in January when you have everything else going on, including FA Cups and replays.
I mean, it hasn't helped with the World Cup.
It really hasn't helped with the World Cup, actually. That is true. So you're cramming even more in. But in England, who cares about it? Who's won the last few? You had a period kind of in the kind of mid-2010s where you had like Bradford going on a run. And then
was that not the FA Cup?
Was that the FA Cup? I thought
I'm sure it was the FA Cup.
Well, Liverpool Cardiff, I can't remember what year it was. Was it
2012?
Oh, it was. Because Anthony Gerrard missed the last penalty, and Steven Gerrard also missed the first penalty, followed by Kenny Miller missing the first for Cardiff.
Christ. But yeah, I think in England there's
Said
too
Cardiff.
many fixtures. Sorry, Cardiff at the minute is a sheer pish. Scotland,
Uh,
there's a case to keep it. I think we can link that to
I wouldn't get rid of
discussions
it in
about the
Scotland.
Scottish game. No, there's a
Yeah,
case
I
to
don't
keep
know.
it.
Do you like the new, well, not new, it's been a few seasons, but the format of a group stage, a regional
No.
group stage before they get into the knockouts? Also, obviously, for those who maybe aren't quite accustomed to Scottish football, there's the group stages which are regionalised.
Not anymore.
They're
They
not-
scrapped that this season because Queens had to go to Elgin.
Yes, that's correct. Usually they were regionalised, but they scrapped that. It was you play everyone in your group.
Once.
Yes, once 3 points for a win, obviously. A draw would then go to a penalty shootout, and whoever won the penalty shootout would get
2.
an extra point, so they'd get 2 points, and the team that obviously lost on penalties would get 1 because they got the draw. You look at your big upsets. Well, Hibs were was it Lee Johnson? He was moaning about it because they went
Yeah.
out, but obviously he was going to moan about it.
And obviously that's also because they feel they're an ineligible player.
Big
yes,
Rocky.
was it him that was the player?
Aye.
Yeah, it was.
Got
And
suspended
let's be
or something.
honest, I know fucking Rocky Chocolate Biscuits are better defenders than he is.
You have to eat that over the sink.
No, they're all right.
They're nice crumbly.
Who did Annan beat? Annan beat St Johnstone, didn't they?
They beat Queen of the South.
But that was inevitable.
Queens beat St Johnstone.
Not on penalties. I was there.
Yeah.
I was in Blackpool that day.
I seen Ryan Muir flan and Andy Considine. So you know.
He's a pensioner these days. That's easier than it used to be.
But for a boy who's about fucking 18, that's impressive.
The other thing, though, with the Scottish League Cup is the fact that the final wasn't on Council Telly. It was on Premier Sports or Viaplay.
At the same time as the rugby, leading into the English Cup final.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't mind all the other rounds being on Viaplay or whatever, but the final should be on Council Telly.
No, yeah.
It's their trophy, isn't it? It's like the Premier
It is
Sports
the
trophy.
Viaplay, yeah, it is the Viaplay Cup. So
We were
kind of.
we were talking about this, Greg. Actually, you can maybe shed some light. Was it the Premier? Obviously, Premier Sports is now Viaplay. Was it the Premier Sports Cup at the start? Because Kyle thought that when Queens played
Yes.
Rangers, they
They
must have
changed.
changed it halfway through.
Yeah, Viaplay took over Premier Sports in December or January. So the Viaplay are a Norwegian company. So
Oh,
they're
yeah.
also showing the Scotland games for the foreseeable future as well. Genuinely, I've got Viaplay. I think it's pretty good. It's better than Premier Sports was.
Definitely.
The graphics are good.
The score graphics.
The wee clock as well was quite impressive.
I would also say for sure that Viaplay's coverage of Scottish football when they do the Scottish Cup and the Viaplay Cup is a billion times better than Sky's. That is basically the same team BT used to have, and their coverage was excellent, but they genuinely care. So as much as I'd like the final on terrestrial telly, you know, if they want to give, I know they can't because they've just gave Sky a massive contract, but you know, I wouldn't have been against the SPL going to Viaplay. The coverage is really good.
I think if it continues, it might be an option in the future, but Sky's got too much money.
Yeah, that's true.
All you need is Ali McCoist. That's all you need.
Are we getting Ali McCoisted out now? Because he was on the FA Cup again last night, and we've had a World Cup of him, and
I
have
don't
we
think you
had too
can.
much?
I don't think you can.
That is absolutely tremendous.
Not
think-
for me, Clive.
There's no doubt about it.
I think he's that passionate about football. You can't not love him.
Did you see on TalkSport? They were talking about it was like dog footballers' names related to dogs, and they're making an 11, and the name is Leeds United, and it absolutely lost the plot. And there's quite a few good names in there. I think maybe we should do that one week. Get a theme and name some players after it, like
No.
our Christmas one. Bring back Frankincense Lampard.
That was bad enough.
I listened to that episode the other day just to hear me say that.
Paul and Burson.
Is what you're telling me that you listen to your recordings of yourself to make yourself laugh? Because that's quite sad.
I wasn't the only one there.
That's fair.
And you know what? Yeah, I'm all for self-love.
It's an extra view, so leave us alone.
Exactly. We're up to 18 subscribers on the YouTube now.
Hiccups.
Way.
This is for you.
So yeah, right. While we're talking about Scotland, Dundee United in a mess. They've just appointed recently sacked Aberdeen gaffer Jim Goodwin. What's your thoughts, Greg?
I mean, it's until the end of the season, so that tells you how much confidence they have in him. I would also say that Dundee United are playing Aberdeen this weekend, so they're definitely going to win because no one knows how to make Aberdeen lose more than Jim Goodwin. Yeah. I heard rumours that Tony Ashgar, the sporting director, is gone.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
The whole club's a massive joke. Apparently, several candidates refused to basically take the job because they didn't want to work with Ashgar. There's then rumours that Goodwin's only got a 6-month contract because the club might be getting sold at the end of the season. So there's other rumours that Craig Levein could be coming in as director of football at the start of next season. The whole thing is a mess, and they're probably going to be playing in the Championship.
Who's bottom? Is it Dundee?
Yeah,
United.
them. And I think it's 4 points now. It's not good. Ross County,
Pumped Motherwell 4-0, didn't they? They pumped Dundee 4-0.
like, how on earth, we'll get on to predictions in a bit, but I would say, how on earth, I think I was the only person, I'll double check that now. I was the only person who identified that Ross County would beat Dundee United. And I think that was the easiest point I'd ever get because Dundee United are shite.
Nah, Man U beating Newcastle's easier.
That is true.
Actually,
It's kind of mental they were in Europe, 9 months ago, beating AZ Alkmaar at
And
Tannadice.
then getting thumped in Holland.
what was the 7-1?
9-0. I thought it was 9.
9-0. No, that was Celtic beat them 9-0.
I'm sure it was 9. I'm going to check that.
It was 7-1, was it not? And then Celtic beat them either the weekend after.
Because did not get back to back, like not back to back, but like
yeah, so,
several
as
9-0 droppings.
Yeah.
Dundee
It is 4 points. So Dundee United do have a game in hand.
7-2.
Because Glenn Middleton scored the goal in at Tannadice.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
Dundee
think
United do have a game in hand, but they're 4 points behind both Kilmarnock and Ross County, and 7 points behind Motherwell in 9th now. It's not looking good.
I thought it was a joke that Jack Russell got pumped 9-0 twice this season.
I mean, 7-0's not far off.
No.
Well, colour me surprised.
But yeah,
the
they're
point
an
remains.
absolute mess.
Yeah, they're going down. They'll see
On
Queens
that
next season.
subject, no, they won't.
In the cup.
They might see Dundee. We might get a Dundee derby in the Scottish Championship where Sky definitely won't televise.
Are they
At
not
least
going up?
BBC Scotland might.
Dundee will go up, won't they?
Well, they're currently second.
Anything's about fucking air.
That is true. Anybody but Ayr.
Right, we're going to predictions.
Yes, let's go on to predictions. We've already mentioned a couple of results there. Slightly better scoring than last week. No, it wasn't.
For some.
Yeah, it was worse for Robert, and worse for me and Kyle, but not by too much. Me and Robert both successfully predicted Kilmarnock Motherwell would be a draw. I successfully predicted that Ross County would beat Dundee United. I don't know why me and Robert suggested that Hamilton might beat Queen's Park. I don't know what I was thinking. Kyle clearly was sane in that moment. I don't know why I thought Clyde would get a point away to FC Edinburgh. I don't know what I was doing last week. But all in all, it finished with 4 points to me, 2 points to Robert, and 4 points to Kyle. So that takes us to total scores of Robert on 62, myself on 64, and Kyle on 66.
2 seconds, Greg. I'm just putting my hand over my screen so I have to look at his smug face.
He usually does a hey thing.
He did. You were reading off the screen. Well, as I say every week, there's plenty of time. We've still got till May-ish.
No, I'm stopping it now. I'm quitting.
Stop the
Thank
count.
God. Greg, at least we don't have to have that meeting with him anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to form my own series with somebody I'll have fucking know. Myself.
One pint and 3 football tops. Well, to be
What?
fair, you got 4. You got 4, but it's not in view.
I'm fucking blind, there's a dog.
Anyway,
I've got our first guess.
No, this one. Just keep going on.
Kyle's games this week, as usual, 2 from each of the 4 Scottish divisions, 2 wildcards. So game number 1 is Hearts versus St Johnstone. Hearts are in 3rd and 5 points clear of Hibs in 4th, but only 2 wins in their last 5. St Johnstone also with 2 wins in their last 5 and sit in 8th. Hearts have won both games so far this season by a scoreline of 3-2. Will that happen again?
I'm going for Hearts.
I'm also going for Hearts.
Me too, Hearts.
Great. 3 votes for Hearts. Second game is Livingston versus Hibernian. Hibs are in 4th and unbeaten in the league since their loss to Hearts in January, but there are 4 teams going for the 3 remaining spots in the top 6. Livy are one of those and sit 7, but only 2 points behind Hibs, and only have 1 win in 5 games.
I'm going for the High Bees.
I'm reckoning a draw.
I am also going for a draw. Into the Championship, first game is Cove Rangers versus Dundee. Cove are looking over their shoulders now, only 3 points off the bottom and 1 win in 5. Dundee also only 1 win in 5, but that was 3-0 against Cove. I am going for a Dundee win.
I too want Dundee.
Make that 3.
3 for Dundee. Other game in Scottish Championship is Queen's Park versus Morton. Queen's Park 4 points clear at the top after 4-1 away win in Hamilton. Morton have won 3 on the bounce and one of 3 teams on 40 points. Will they make it 4 wins on the bounce?
No.
Robert Adams.
Queen's Park.
You're going for Queen's Park.
Oh, come back to me.
That's fine. I'll come back to Kyle. I've gone for a draw after predicting Queen's Park would lose last week. I'm going to suggest they won't win again this week.
Queen's Park. Queen's Park.
Queen's Park. Into League One, game number 1 is Montrose versus Clyde. Montrose only have 1 win in 5. That was against Queens, but they have beat Clyde twice already this season. Clyde remain 2 points above Peterhead despite losing ground to them last weekend with Peterhead's draw against Kelty.
I think no-brainer Montrose.
I agree.
Oh, I'd have to third that.
The Montrose wins. The other game is the mighty Queen of the South against Airdrieonians. Queens could move on to the same number of points as Montrose with a win and are currently 18 points above 9th place Clyde. Airdrie fall into 5th after they lost to Falkirk. Both games this season have been draws. I am sticking my head out and saying that the 3rd game will also be a draw.
I was thinking that actually. As much as I want to say win.
As much as I don't want to say a Queen's loss.
I'll be there in the stands cheering on against Airdrie. So I'm going to say Queens.
I think I would hate Queens. No, I don't know.
Just because I'm there, I can't bet against Queens, so I need to.
I'm going to stick with a draw.
You're going to stick with a draw. As much as I want to say I think Queens will lose this, I cannot bring myself about to put it as a proper prediction.
You arsehole.
They won't lose. It'll be a draw or Queens win.
Good. Into League 2, first game is Elgin versus Bonnyrigg. Elgin with their first win in 7 games last weekend, but it was against the leaders Dumbarton. Bonnyrigg are still bottom. Elgin have won both games this season so far. I'm going for another draw. Bonnyrigg have been unlucky in the past few games.
Well, I've seen Bonnyrigg this season. They actually look quite good. So I might join you in a draw.
I'm not going to lie, I zoned out a bit. I didn't hear any of the stats. I was thinking about Queens.
Is that why you get such a glum look on your face?
That's why I look so fucking horny.
Don't read the stats. Don't read the stats again. Just tell me where they are in the league.
Elgin are somewhere like 7th. Bonnyrigg are bottom.
Elgin.
Elgin win for Robert. Other game in League Two, Stranraer versus Dumbarton. 2 wins in a row for Stranraer, but they sit 8th. Dunfermline are 5 points clear at the top, but Stirling have played 2 games less than them. Dumbarton have lost 2 of their last 5.
Barton.
I am also, Robert's going for a draw. I'm also going for Dumbarton. Dumbarton have, they started the season really well. The results have been a bit more mixed recently. 2 wildcards this week. First one is Wolves versus Tottenham. Defeats on Wednesday night for both of them. Wolves against Liverpool. Tottenham against Sheffield United in the FA Cup. Wolves are 3 points above the bottom 3. Spurs somehow sit 4th and have won 4 of their last 5 league games, despite the whole narrative about Spurs not being that good.
Well, on that note, I'm going for Conte's men. I'm going Tottenham Hotspur.
Should be back for it.
If Conte's back for it, I'm saying it's a draw because Conte's been quite shit. The assistant's been decent, but Conte, no. So I'm going to say a draw.
I agree with that. And I also said Wolves would go on a run at some point, and that hasn't really happened. But no, we'll go for a Tottenham win.
I'm saying draw.
You're going for draw. Other game is in the MLS, which is LAFC against Portland Timbers, which I'm led to believe is quite a big rivalry.
That's why I picked it.
It's the first game for LAFC. Carry on.
I was going to say, I like when Portland Timbers score and they cut a big chunk off the tree trunk.
Do they still do that?
I think so. To be fair, I think they had to get a new guy to do it when Chris Boyd killed the last one away with one of his shots back in the day.
Well, we've got a good pal as a tree cutter, so you could probably do it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you could do it at Palmerston.
Fucking tree be there for a fucking while.
I mean, yeah, he wouldn't be employed very often, so that's probably a good thing. First game for LAFC as MLS Cup champions, but without Gareth Bale, Portland got their campaign off to a good start last weekend with a win over Sporting Kansas City.
I think LA.
You're going for LA.
Carlos Vela.
This is a tough one.
I do not care about the MLS. I'm going with a draw.
That's it, null and void. Greg doesn't care about MLS, null and void.
Just for the sake of it, I'll go Portland Timbers.
Yes, you will. Portland Timbers, that is the end of the predictions this week.
Thank you, Greg. Hopefully I'll have a bit more luck this coming week. It was looking so promising for a while, but I've pinched it. But there's a lot of time till the end of the season. But I need to not slip too far away.
Things can and do change. We've all led at least 1 point this season.
I'm staying in charge, so
This is definitely the best title race this season.
Scottish Championship's quite intense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing the role of Queen's Park though.
What, you've got a ground that's far too small for you?
Well, this is a good small shed, so
Yeah, if Queen's Park do go up, that is a huge problem. Like, are they just going to play at Hampden?
Hell's Garden Shed, it's bigger than this. Hell's Garden Shed, it's bigger than this. It's got a Rangers stop and a Barcelona top. Sorry.
Hell's Garden Shed is bigger than this.
He's got the Rangers next to Barca.
No, I was going to say, if Queen's Park go up and then they do play at Hampden, will the home fans have to move when Rangers and Celtic come to town? Because let's be honest, if you designate a section of Hampden as away fans, there's no way Rangers fans are sitting in the Celtic end and Celtic fans are sitting in the Rangers end. That just won't happen.
You can just move them around though. Like move home fans some side.
I was going to say, it's not like the home fans. There's going to be that many of them that need moved, is it? I read other rumours that they might play at Broadwood, but I've heard there's quite a few teams playing there, so maybe not.
Is that Clyde?
Where Clyde used to play before the council shut them out.
It's an open goal play, isn't it?
Open goal, Broomhill. One of the
Cumbernauld Colts still play there.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. All I could think about was Cumbernauld Juniors, and I knew it wasn't.
Where do Rangers women play, Robert? Is that there as well?
I believe they play yeah, I think they play there as well.
One of the women's teams plays there, but I don't know who.
The B team play at Dumbarton. So yeah.
It is the home of Cumbernauld Colts, Scottish Rugby Academy West,
No one cares
Open
about
Goal, Broomhill, and Rangers Women's Football Club.
that. It's
You're right.
Rangers.
I thought that. Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
it's not a bad looking place.
It's an open question as to where Queen's Park will go next year. Because if they get promoted, it doesn't look like A, Lesser Hamden will be ready, and B, Lesser Hamden will be big enough.
Where did they play there?
They're currently at Hamilton's ground.
They play Oakville.
Is it Oakville? I thought they were at
That's Clyde.
to
Clyde
whatever
play.
we're calling New Douglas. Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. It's Clyde. Sorry, my bad. Is Hamilton's ground still the CBD arena or whatever it is?
CBT. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'll-
There's no
I'll-
doubt.
It's sponsored by some CBD company at some point.
Hamilton.
Aye, because right when they had that big logo on during the COVID season when there was no fans.
ZLX.
I don't know what that is.
No doubt, but that's what it's called. It was Hope CBD in 1819.
It's
And then it
changed
was
quite a lot.
Fountain of Youth for the next 3 years after that, until this season.
Christ.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up for this week. But thank you very much for listening. Same as always,
Yes.
like and subscribe. But yeah, make sure you like them as well. I don't know if we obviously like
Like them.
Like,
He's-
subscribe, comment, and
Share.
click the notifications. Yes, and click the notification bell so you're notified when we release new videos.
Yes, thank you very much. That is all for this week. See you next week. See you the now.
You know
Peace and power.
that.